What's up YouTube, Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what you should do after you get your motivated seller contract signed. We're going to talk about what you should do even if you have a cash buyer in place or if you don't. And we're also going to talk about if you should hurry up to the title company once you get one contract signed, or if you should wait until you have both contracts signed and you have that cash buyer in place before you head over to the title company. So if you all find value from this video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's head right into the video. So first, let's talk about you get a contract signed. Congrats you all. That's a big step for a lot of beginner wholesalers. It's just getting their first contract signed. So congrats to you. But let's say you don't have a buyer in place, right? The next step is obviously to find a cash buyer. I have a ton of videos on how to find cash buyers. Just go on my channel. There's a search option on YouTube creators channels, and you can just type in the word cash buyers, look through the list of videos I have on finding cash buyers, and you can find a cash buyer that way, right? Another thing is that if you all are interested in wholesale contracts, whether it's between you and the seller or you and the buyer, you can check the link down below. I have free PDFs down below that you can download, and I have videos about contracts that you can search also. So let's say you find a group of buyers. Next, you have to schedule a time at the property. So you just go up to the seller, you just say, hey, I need a time to show my partners, my investors in this deal in order to just make sure it's a go on their end, right? And so you just have a date that you can show different buyers the property. So once you get that done and someone signs up, or like someone signs with you, then you have to put them under contract, right? You put them under contract with the assignment on contract agreement. So yeah, once you have the assignment on contract signed, you will go over to your title company. Once again, I have a ton of videos on how to find title companies. Look through my channel. But essentially, you're just going to call a bunch of title companies around your area, see if they do assignment on contracts, wholesale deals. If they say yes, let's go. If they say no, just move on. You will find some, or just ask other wholesalers in your town who they use to close. So once you bring both contracts to the title company, and by the way, let me say this, I do prefer you all having both contracts signed so you can present yourself, professionally to your title company and just not waste their time if you can't find a cash buyer and they've done all this work. And most likely they're going to charge you for that. But if it's a house that you're not sure about, like who actually owns the house, the different issues that the seller told you, and you just need a title search done, yeah, go ahead, go to the title company and get that search done even before finding a buyer if you're in that situation. I do believe in certain situations, yeah, you should go ahead and get the title search done even before having a cash buyer. But in most cases, when everything seems like it's going all right, just wait until you have that cash buyer in place in order to go to the title company. So once you have both of those contracts at the title company, they're going to do their title search and different escrow things within their company. So while the contracts are at the title company, you're not staying idle. You're still looking for other deals, and you're staying in contact with the title company just so you can be in the loop of everything if they need everything on your end, right? So you just don't leave them hanging. You gotta check up on them sometimes, especially if it's a new title company that may not take you as serious. I think when I first started, I made sure I was on top of everything, contacting them, making sure that if they needed any documentation from the seller, from the cash buyer, if they needed like proof of funds for anything, I would make sure I was there in order to help them, and so I could contact the seller or the buyer for different things. Always stay in the loop, be on top of things. And I think over time, when you've been working with a title company, they know just to send you off an email. But sometimes I've been in situations with title companies where I send them off the contract and it's on my end to contact them, right? Because they're just very relaxed about everything, and it's been like 2-3 weeks, I haven't heard anything from them, and I go to them and they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll start the title search now. I'm all like, I sent these contracts 2-3 weeks ago. But that's what you run into sometimes. But over time, you learn how to really vet your title company and establish that relationship, like, hey, I'm trying to get business done. And so just make sure you're on top of things, even though the title company is now doing a lot of the work in order to close on the property. All right, so next is, let's say they're done with escrow, they're done with the title search, everything came out clean. They don't need any more documentations. Even if they did, you provided that and you were able to get everything needed in order to close on the property. Now it's time to pick a date. So picking a date a lot of times is the responsibility of the title company, because they have to wait until the title search comes. They have to schedule out, your closing with all the other closings they're having. And so there's not so much flexibility, but you can, from the start, you have to let them know, hey, we need to close this in like 3 weeks because this is the date on this contract, or this or that, or even beforehand to say, hey, this is when I have the contract signed for. Is this something you all can do? You all can finish this by this date. If not, then just go to another title company, right? Picking a date, you have to, from the beginning, show like how much priority you need it to be closed, right? Some closings, you can be more relaxed and wait 2-3 weeks. Some you want it done a little bit sooner, right? So you have to make sure you make that known to the title company. But let's say they set a date for you all. Now you have to go over to the title company if you want to meet up with the seller and a buyer so you can be there with them and they'll close on the property. But as a wholesaler, you do not need to be at the title company, right? There's been a lot of deals where I didn't even go to the title company. I just picked up the check later. Or you can have them just send them directly to your bank account, which some title companies charge for that. So usually I just pick up the check later whenever I can. So make sure you know what you want to do beforehand, or even just let the title company know, hey, I'm going to pick up the check later, or you can send it to this bank account. And yeah, that's essentially it. You collect the money, or you collect your check, and then you move on to your next deal. So another thing with what to do after a contract sign is, like, if you're doing this virtually, right? That's another aspect that I wanted to talk about within wholesaling real estate, because some of you all are interested in wholesaling real estate virtually, right? This can be done entirely online through emails, through websites like DocuSign, other services like notary, if you need a notary to sign documents, whether you want a seller in another state to sign or a buyer in another state to sign, or even yourself sign some documents that you need to sign, like the assignment on contract or the purchase and sales agreement. So in order to do this, all you do is, for example, you just send it off to a website like DocuSign, right? You send off the purchase and sales agreement, you send off the assignment on contract agreement. I've done deals where even though the properties are probably like 30 minutes away, I just sent the contracts online and I was still able to close everything without even meeting with the people at all, or maybe not even going to the house, because I was able to just do it all online. And even with the title company, you don't have to be there as a wholesaler. So you can just pick up the check later, or, have them mail you the check, or like, of course, through a bank account. Yeah, and of course you can send out notaries in order for your seller or your buyer to sign those contracts if your title company requires that. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I do get this question a lot, like, hey, what's the step-by-step process after I get this contract signed? And so today, I hope I explained step-by-step what to do. If you all have any questions, be sure to comment down below. Like this video, subscribe if you are not subscribed, and follow me on Instagram at BizMatthew if you want more content, if you want to send me a message about some deals or just general questions. All right, talk to you all later. Peace.